Hey guys, welcome back to Live from the Tower for another episode. I am so excited for this episode. We have another beautiful sister that is willing to share. And I love when people are willing to share their stories and their testimonies and just give us some different insights so that we can all grow and we can all connect. I am your host, Minister Teresa Baker, and again, welcome to another episode of Live from the Tower. Today, we do have a special guest, my friend and my sister, Shauna. Sister Shauna, I'm so excited to have you here with us today. And I just feel like we're going to just receive today and we're just going to get some great information and just some insight on the joys and the pains of elderly care. And you, my friend, have a lot of experience. You have both professional and personal experience. And so I don't want to drag it out too long and introduce yourself and just let's just talk about what we got.
Hey y'all, hey.
Hey.
So my name is Qua'Shauna Page. Excuse the wind, it's been a little disrespectful right now. And as Teresa said, we are friends, home skillets, sisters in Christ, sisters this period. We've known each other for years. And I'm here, God's blessed her heart and her spirit and said, call me. Let's talk about some things. So we're here to talk about elder care, something that is near and dear to me. I was brought up by my grandparents, so it's definitely near and dear to me.
Yeah.
I've been brought up around geriatric all my life. Worked in the field for years. Now I'm in a corporate office, so I don't, have hands-on anymore, but it's just something I love to do, something I love to make sure that people are being taken care of properly. And this is one of my gifts, my spiritual gifts is serving.
Wow. Yes.
I serve at all capacities,
Absolutely. And so Shauna, like you said, we're kind of, I feel like our age group is kind of in what I consider the cusp age.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us around 40-ish, between 40, 50-ish, we are experiencing our children transition into adulthood.
Uh-huh.
And we are experiencing our parents and grandparents become seniors.
Yes.
And elderly, a part of the elderly community. So we're kind of balancing both, actually. But I know you have a lot of experience. Like you said, you were raised by your grandparents.
Yes.
And I know, unfortunately, you did just recently lose your grandmother. And we absolutely continue to send our love and prayers to you and your family. But I know you provided a lot of care for her before she transitioned. And
Yes.
just talk to us about that a little bit.
Well, just working in elder care, you see a lot, and the transition is very hard for the resident and the family members. And you see where basically they're giving up their whole life to a nursing home or assisted living. And so some people like, oh, my family never going into a nursing home because it's all kind of shenanigans going in there. They kill people. They not taking care of people. And you know what? Sometimes it's true. But Sometimes when you have a family member who you can't take care of with any 24-hour care and supervision, you have to do what you need to do. And you do have some decent nursing homes. And even the ones that are a little rocky, if you as a family member continuously go and show face and show that you truly care about that family member, then you won't have no issues. You won't have no issues at all. And when I first started working in elder care, one of the things they did was take us through classes so we can start to understand how people feel, what they go through emotionally. You know, because you're like, oh, well, you're only going in there for a month or 3 weeks for rehab. But sometimes that rehab turns into a short-term stay. And then sometimes that short-term stay turns into a long-term stay, what they call LTC, long-term care. And it mentally messes with you because 9 times out of 10, when a person goes to a nursing home, sometimes they go into a deep depression.
Wow.
So classes, what they did was they took us through a simulation where basically you working all your life, you get to come and go as you please, you get to drive, you get to do everything.
Right.
So they gave us cards. And this is something I also do when I be doing little classes and stuff. They gave us cards, and the cards were simple things, you know, flickering the light off and on, walking in and out the door, putting your feet on the ground when you felt like it, going to the bathroom when you felt like it, cooking when you felt like it, just opening the refrigerator door. You don't think like that.
Right.
You know, so as we start doing these things, you know, they start throwing scenarios out there about how, you know, you live in your life and then you get sick, so you go in the hospital. Hospitals say, okay, you got to go in the nursing home for a couple of weeks. So it's like, all right, I'm going to go in the nursing home. I really don't want to go, but I'm going to go.
Right.
Just, you know, rehab and get myself together. But then you get to a point where they call baseline, where basically you kind of plateau, you at that baseline when you can't do no more.
Okay.
And then my family can't take care of me. So what I'm going to do?
What you going to do?
All the emotions and everything start happening. And it really freaks you out. And so I start crying because once you realize I can't
Right.
the refrigerator, I'm on that meal schedule. I can't eat my crabs and my shrimp and my lobster tails like I got food, but I got to eat nursing home food. And guess, if I have swallowing issues, I got to eat that mashed up mush, soft food or chop. That messes with you. So it's definitely a transition. And it takes a lot. Now, for me, again, I've seen it all in nursing homes. So I'm kind of, I hate to say I'm used to it. So when it came to taking care of my grandmother, it was without, hands down, I'm going to do it. That's my moody. I'm going to do what I got to do. Now, you know, she's been sick over the past few years. A lot of people didn't know, but just being close to her and, you know, I see more than what most people would see. And, you know, just over the past 2 years, I just seen her health just decline, but she still was feisty. They ain't call her moody for nothing. She was very feisty.
I know that's right.
No, she was very feisty. And, you know, I just would see the need that she, you know, needed, but I would stay back because she still was independent.
And I hear a lot of my friends are now taking care of, like I say, either their parents or their grandparents. And a lot of them are saying they're talking about the resistance that they put up. I personally have not had to care for an elderly person as of yet. So I do not know, but I can kind of guess that it's not easy for somebody to give up their independence. And I hear a lot of people talk about that. You have to kind of help them
From afar.
Yeah. And
honestly,
try to do that. Yeah.
I say put yourself in their position. Just like just say if you got hurt, right? And you got hurt, but you needed some help, you broke a leg or arm or something, and you can't do some stuff for yourself, but you like, get off me, I got this, I can do this. And then people like, let me help you while you need the help. And so they like, okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead and try to hobble along and do what you need to do. So you hobble along, and then guess what? You go fall and you go hurt something else. So they like, are you done? Because that's what I had to do. I'd be like, are you done? Are you ready for my help now? But you know what? I also just let her do what she can do as long as she can do it. And that's with
Oh, that's
any,
good.
that's
That's
with
good.
any, as long as they're willing, even if they crawl into the bathroom, even if they holding on to stuff just to go cook, or put food in their lap so they can just still keep some kind of stimulation going to keep them, because for them it's their will.
Yeah.
Get what I'm saying? This allows them,
absolutely.
it keeps going. And in elder care, people just think they're just old folks. So they old can't do nothing. Listen. And some of these nursing homes, there's activity department that are amazing. So they keep going, they keep doing different activities, going places, well, that kind of got on a halt, but just doing different things. They even have happy hour nights at some places.
Come on, nursing home.
They
Come
party. They party, they have a good time, because guess what? This is their home.
Right.
This is their home. Right. Even if it's not their home, say you're in house, like I was home, helping my grandmother, and so we did in-home hospice. So in-home hospice is it's a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Very
I can imagine. And for one that you have one major thing is a lot of elderly people, they become kind of bedridden, or it's kind of hard for them to get up and go to the bathroom and shower and stuff. So now that's a whole other level of vulnerability. So now you have to actually allow someone to clean you, wipe you, and bathe you. So I just can imagine, because we naturally are kind of personal in that area and real protective of ourselves when we're showering and when we're using a bathroom. So I can just imagine how that is on their mind, as far as having to allow someone to wipe them and shower them and scrub them up. So it is, and you mentioned they go into a depression.
Some of them, it's a shameful thing, and you have to learn to say, you got to find different ways of coping with them and helping them out. And each person is different, so you got to handle some people different. And especially at certain ages, their mental state. Yeah. Their mental state messes with them and make them do certain things, whether it be dementia or Alzheimer's. Some of them become really violent. Well, in the heartbeat, baby, I was all kind of names all the time in the nursing home. And my grandmama never called me a name, but she would say, "You really nasty to me." But she wasn't. She definitely didn't curse, but she listened. She'll listen, Moody, and handle her business. You understand me? But you have people who sundown. They have what they call sundowning, where basically like the sun is setting. So after that 3-4 o'clock, they start changing.
Oh wow!
They definitely start changing, and most people think, oh, they are older, they don't have issues, and they may not. But you need to watch that because that's things to watch when someone has dementia or Alzheimer's. That short-term memory loss, we all got it. I forget half of the time. We all got it. But then it's become the short-term memory loss, the aggressive behavior, the indecisive thinking and decision-making, or if you start noticing their pattern changes all of a sudden. So that's when some things you got to be like, wait a minute, let me watch this, because, it might be something going on here. So when you start seeing that, just start, watching and keeping an eye out, whether it be leaving the stove on, whether it be walking outside, and they be like, why am I out here?
Wow. So did your grandmother drive?
My grandmother has not drove in about 16 years, because she had cast on her eyes. She would try to
she would try. So I wanted to ask you about that. I wanted to ask you about taking their at what point, like how taking their driving privileges? Because I know that's a big struggle.
A hard thing. That is a hard thing, especially when you somebody that's up and ready. So my
Yeah.
grandmother, she had eye issues, so she couldn't see. But that chick still went and got her driver's license renewed on a regular. I understand. And I'm like, they ain't do no eye test on you. Girl, they and told me to go. You're right. You go right on here. But she, even though she was getting her license renewed, she wasn't driving. Because she had eye issues, cataracts and all that. So she couldn't do all that. But you do have some people who really shouldn't be driving.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on them and take their keys if you need to at certain points, or you say, hey, I'll take you here. Where we need to sit down and talk with your family. If you have family, friends, neighbors, or whatever, and say, hey, while I'm gone, can you just keep an eye out on this? If you see anything, let me know. See anything weird, let me know. Call a doctor, make an appointment. And you need to start being involved in their care, because we as people, we sometimes be like, oh, they all right. No, we need to be more involved in their care. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take, oh, it was all right. I went to my doctor, it was all right. Listen. A lot of people didn't know a lot of things about my grandmother, because most seniors, especially our Black elderly, they're very secretive. Very prideful. So they hold a lot of things in. And working in the nursing homes, I started working in the business office, and you have to gain their trust for them to tell you anything. If nursing homes, they think, oh, they're going to take your money. Yeah, we take your money. We definitely do. I ain't going to. Because the reality is, your money is for when you on the outside. And you need to pay your bills outside. But once you come to nursing home, when you stay past that 3 months, your Social Security, your pension, your VA, your SSI, everything gets cut. Because you're now in the care of the nursing home. And now you're trying to get the state to pay for you being there. And the average nursing home stay is almost $9,000 and some change. That's just room and board.
Wow.
And
you said that kicks in about 3 months if they have to stay longer than 3 months.
Kicking less than that, depending on your ability.
Okay.
Whether you can clothe yourself, feed yourself, bathe yourself. Your continence, meaning can you go to the bathroom? Do you need somebody to help you? Can you turn a position? Can you move? So they look at 5 skill sets to see which I do, because some things, if you can do it, you can go home. But sometimes, if you can't, you have to stay, or you have to prove to them, and what they call a care plan, meaning that the family is going to be able to take care of you. Because in-home care is way expensive, more expensive. In-home care, depending on what you need, can start from $18,000 all the way up to $60,000 a month.
Wow.
If not more.
Wow. So it sounds like a lot of people kind of have to, if they go with the public assistance route, they kind of have to put their loved one in some kind of in-house living situation.
Really, there are a lot of good programs out here. You just have to be research, and some people don't want to take the time to research, because it takes a lot of time. And then as we say in church, everything you need is in the house. So all you gotta do is ask people about certain things. Honestly, we need to start planning early when it comes to a lot of things, and we need to know certain things. Like, do they have a prepaid burial plan, an irrevocable prepaid burial plan? Do you know where their life insurance are? Do they have insurance? Do they have a plot, a cemetery? Do they have a cremation? What are their do's and don'ts? What are their medications? What are their sickness? We have to ask questions. We don't ask questions.
Yeah. And I love that you point that out, because you're absolutely right. We do not know that critical stuff. Very few people put a plan in place in advance. And I know personally, I started to realize, I said, well, if we automatically assume that we're going to live our life and then we're going to get old and we're going to lay down and go to sleep one night like this and just go on to heaven. That's the ideal. That's the ideal transition. I still think that that's the way I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna stick to
Girl,
it.
not
But
now. Look, we in a city. You walk down the street and get shot. Come on now.
thank you. So that's my point. So my point is, I have this ideal fairy tale that I'm just going to be 150, and then I'm just going to be like, oh, goodbye. But that is not reality, because the reality of it is you could literally go outside and be in a fatal car accident or be unfortunately shot or whatever. You could be tragically killed. So we need to, in our community, start to establish that kind of trust with somebody where they know your business. We are so private about our business. Yeah.
Truth. And again, being raised by my grand, listen, I love them to death. They were married 63 years, you know. So I seen it all. And
63 years. Wow.
listen,
Wow.
63. But you see so much stuff. So, you know, I made sure that they had prepaid burial plans in place. We don't like to talk about death, but guess what? It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
As babes, we leave as babes. In reality, that's what happened with my grandmother. That's what happened with a lot of, not just seniors, just people in general. You know what I'm saying? Where you change. You know, my grandmother got to the point where she literally would hold on to stuff. I'll be working from home and I hear this thump and I'm like, what in the world going on? This chick is getting up. And this when I knew her transition was coming. Nobody working in this kid, I already knew. She began crawling to the bathroom. No, I don't need no help, on the floor, trying to get herself up. And I'm like, you done? Are you done? Are you ready? You know, still trying to wash herself up, even though it was a lot of pain and tiresome from her. But she was, and then she starts slowing down and talking. That wasn't my grandmother. She stopped slowing down and talking. Then, you know, I just start seeing things. So I'm like, Granddad, we need to talk. Family, we need to talk. We need to talk. It's time. It's time. And I finally had to get to my grandmother and I said, listen, honey, I think we need to talk about getting hospice in place. And like, I really had to talk to her and convince her, and I don't need that. So I made the appointment. I made the,
so listen, you went on.
I made the appointment and let them come to the house and talk to her so she can see and feel comfortable. Because at that point, she still can talk. She still can talk for herself, even though, you know, I have power of attorney, but she can talk for herself. So I didn't let that be known. She can talk for herself. Let her talk. You know, she get. But in the end, she was very appreciative of it. You get what I'm saying? So we have to start taking initiative and think about these kind of things. Like, talk to your family members, even your kids.
Yeah.
What is it that you want? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want to be buried? You know, do you have life insurance? You know, what is the need? And you got so many people there. Look, all these GoFundMe pages going up because people don't have insurance. You don't think that kind of way. You don't have life insurance. Oh, I get it. Baby, we all gonna die. You just never know. When God says,
you never know when.
You don't know. So you have to be prepared. And in my grandmother's journey, she was straight. You know why? Because she had her.
I know that's right. Yeah,
against my family. But I'm saying, you know, there were things in place and I made sure things was in place because it makes the working in the nursing homes, it taught me a lot. It taught me how to get things in order for these kind of, makes the transition easier. Still hard, but it makes it easier because guess what? You got papers already together. You know where everything is. You know life insurance. You know the cemetery. You know what she want, what she don't want, what color she want to wear. All that makes it so much easier. You know, and then it makes it easier. What part did your faith
play in this? And was your grandmother and I think your grandfather, he's a deacon. Yeah, so they are believers and so what part did faith play in this?
Faith plays every part. Faith has to play every part. You have to believe and receive in him. You have to trust him, just him, because this is an emotional roller coaster. This is a roller coaster when you're dealing with elderly care, when you're dealing with family, because baby, all kind of enemies come all kind of ways when you're dealing with elder care, dealing with money, when you're dealing with the house, the cars, the care, So, you have to have faith. And if you don't, you better learn to get some, honey, because that's the only thing that keeps you grounded. It's many times I would say I'm okay, but I'm not. And I'll go upstairs and cry. I'll go somewhere and cry, get myself together, and then come back and say, okay, what we got going on? God, help me, guide me, help me to understand what's going on, because I don't know what's going on. I mean, I know, but it's happening kind of quick.
Right. So and it's happening to you. So you have a lot of professional experience and you can see it on the outside, but this is happening to your direct parents.
So one scripture that I always kept in mind is that good old Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not unto your own
understanding.
It's not us to understand. As long as got it, because the plan is already there. He already knows what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's us that got to get ourselves together. It's us that got to get out straight. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
My grandma say, I'm ready. Y'all got to get yourself ready.
Wow.
She would say, listen.
She would say that, Shauna.
What? I'm ready.
Wow.
Y'all better get. I'm ready.
So your grandmother, it's no doubt in your mind that your grandmother was absolutely okay. She was comfortable in her heart and in her spirit of what was happening to her.
Teresa.
Wow.
She was very confident. She was very comfortable because she would say, you will call here, you will come here. I'm still healing another day. I'm yet holding on there. She said,
come on, ma.
She knew, and I knew, because the conversation she would say, yeah, I'm still here, but not much longer. So, she was holding on for some people, because she definitely lived past. Well, God wasn't ready for it. Let's just say that he wasn't ready just yet.
So she lived beyond the medical expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So so now this is 63 years of marriage, and I'm still trying to, be like, hot, wow. But so now you have your grandfather without his beautiful wife, and he's also requiring elderly care. What is that like for you?
So he doesn't, he's not like how she was.
Okay.
He still walks, he still drives, you know what I'm saying? Okay. He still does. Okay. But emotionally it's a lot to you lose your partner. Somebody
3 years.
You know what I'm saying? You've been with somebody longer than you lived. And for him, the acceptance, it was hard because her transition was an easy, smooth. That's because we had everything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Pray with her all the time. We play her favorite music and her songs.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hard thing for him to accept. And for a while, he was in denial. And most family members are in denial for a while.
Yeah.
Even transition, they're in denial.
Wow.
And until even after the funeral, it's just like, I can't accept it. But for him, he has his good and bad days. She died March 11th. So we're working on 3 months now? March, April, May, June, almost 4 months.
Yeah.
So, as she transitions. So, every day is a struggle, of course, because you have reminders in here all day long.
Right.
your partner, your life partner.
Yeah.
He's doing good though. So he find things to do around the house. He keep his faith going. Like I said, faith for us is a big thing.
Right. Right.
Faith, you ain't got nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Something about God's mercy.
Yes.
Owes you
Everything.
that
It's just everything.
That he gonna do any and everything exceedingly and abundantly. Listen, honey,
Yeah.
he's gonna get us through.
Yeah.
He is getting us through.
Yeah.
It's not. I cry here and there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her birthday, 24. We had a nice little shindig for her on her birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's a daily thing. It's a daily thing, and I tell people this ain't easy, but somebody got to do it.
Yeah. So what would you? So if we could just leave some inspirational words or some tips with our viewers and listeners, what would you leave them with?
I would say communication.
Mm.
Communication with your family, your loved ones, your friends. Have a will. Have a designated power of attorney. Sit down with your family so they can know everything that you want, don't want, who you want, what you don't want. Sit down and have a conversation and plan it out. I know we don't like to talk about it, but we have to talk because the living in. Listen, honey, you don't know whether you living today or tomorrow. You don't know if you waking up today or tomorrow.
Come on now. And that's the real deal.
And it's no cut cards with me. I'm gonna tell you like it is.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
Communication, and just know you're gonna have all kind of people coming at you all kind of ways, especially that family. But you have to know that you got God on your side. Yeah. They talk, especially the ones that ain't around, and they try to come around all of a sudden. Listen. So you got to have an understanding. You got to have a knowing of everything. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I had to know a lot, and you need to know a lot. And don't go around everybody.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah.
Communication, your faith, and talking to somebody. Because I'm gonna tell you, honey, I have a therapist now, and even if you ain't got a therapist, have somebody who you can talk to about whatever you got going on, whether it be sister, your brother, your cousin, your baby mama, baby daddy, but have somebody who you can talk to, because this is not an easy thing.
It's not easy.
It's easier if you do put steps in place and have your faith already in place.
Yeah.
Understanding.
Oh, understanding. I love how you just express the importance that we start to communicate with each other a lot better, and we start to have a plan in place. We just have to do it. And like you said, death and transitioning is inevitable. So if you can put those plans in place while you are in your right frame of mind, capable, have the money, let's encourage that in our community, and let's definitely get in front of that.
It makes it so much easier. People, I'm telling you, when I help people and family members and church members or whatever, and I express these things, and we sit down and we talk, they be like, Shauna, so much easier. I told you.
Yeah.
Listen, things out here for us to do. There's workshops. And here in Maryland, it's called the Ombudsman Office, or the Department of Age, and they have all kind of resources. Listen, it's online. Everything is virtual. Everything is online. Everything is there. But if you got questions, you can always ask Teresa, hit me up, and I'll help you out.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Talk. Just to talk. I'm a talk. Everybody, I love to talk. Listen, I love it. Love to laugh. So if they have anything, I'm here.
But I absolutely appreciate that. I appreciate you offering yourself, and I want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to thank you for talking to us. I just I kind of knew the importance of getting your affairs in order and having plans in place. but I'm glad that it was reinforced here today. We have to get ahead of that, and we have to just accept the inevitable, so and get in front of it so that we're not trying to put all these pieces together once the transition happens. It just makes it smoother.
Right. And one more thing I just want to say.
Sure, absolutely.
Yes. Find a scripture or 2 or 3 or 4.
Come on.
Find something so you can be anchored.
Come
Anchored in
on
his
now.
go-to.
Absolutely.
You have something you go to, that word that you can lean on. Everything else does not matter, because now you know.
Now you know. Now you know. Now you know. Once you speak those words into the atmosphere, they take on a life of themselves. It's out of your control. The word.
You can say, let go and let God, as they say. You understand? That's all I do. Let go and let go.
Absolutely. So again, Shauna, we just want to thank you. I want to thank you so much for agreeing just to share. I absolutely love you. We are definitely still praying for you and your family, because your grandmother's transition is still fresh for you and your family. And she was a beautiful queen for your family. So that is a great loss. And we're lifting you and your granddad and the rest of your family in prayer. Absolutely. And I thank you for just sharing your testimony, sharing your experience. And I just want to also offer any of the viewers, if you are in a position where you need assistance, where you are experiencing this or any other things that we, have discussed on the show, don't be scared to reach out. Don't be afraid. We are here to help. I am a minister, and I can offer, I'm authorized to offer spiritual guidance and spiritual help. And I am affiliated with a lot of pastors and a lot of just people that I just can hook you up with and just connect you and try to help guide you, because that's literally the purpose of the show, just to offer that insight and that assistance. So again, we thank you, Shauna, for your testimony today and just your knowledge. And this was an excellent episode.
Listen, I told you I got you, and you was like, oh, I don't know. We just talk like we always just have no.
And I love it. I love the rawness of these episodes. I just love how raw it is. It's not scripted. It's not, decorated. It's not formatted. It's simple conversation. And we have to get more comfortable with conversations and sharing and connecting with one another. So thank you so much. Thank you all for tuning in. This is another episode of Live from the Tower. And until we return, stay connected to the tower. See you next time.